You both danced on Broadway in the show about a year ago, I believe it was. What was that experience like?
It's it's indescribable, really. It's like nothing we've ever experienced. I mean, obviously, the goal of anyone in performing arts is to dance on, to perform on Broadway. And when we were told, like, it was just total excitement. It was the hardest work we've ever done, like the build-up to Broadway, because we just wanted the show to be as good as we can possibly be. And, we were told that it's pretty cutthroat on Broadway. If you're not successful, like within the first week or two, you can be shut down again. And we wanted it to be like the best it's ever been. And it was like rehearsals, like constant. And yeah, it was really hard work. But just from that first opening night, the feeling that we got was like nothing you can even really describe. It was an amazing feeling. And we ended up staying there. It was supposed to be initially, was it 7 weeks?
Like
6 or 7 weeks
it
was supposed to be, and it ended up going for about 6-7 months.
Wow.
Because we kept getting extended just because of the success of it.
And actually we got extended longer, and they just till February. And we decided to stop it in January. So we actually could have gone longer, but the cast had to go on the world tour. So it was actually us that said, no, we can't stay any longer. So, but yeah, it was just the most, even just being, there's something about New York City that I actually was there and decided to stay and just to stay. So
right.
I just decided to stay for another year.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I just I think I'll stay. So I'm from San Francisco, and I just sort of didn't go back.
Well, do you think the producers will take the show back to Broadway? I mean, it was so successful.
I mean, we hear rumors. I'd love to think so. We hear rumors that we will be going back to Broadway at some point. And I was actually in New York not long ago and went back to the theatre to see the show that's in there right now. And was talking to some of the crew and some of the people that were on the show with us who are still working there. And they've apparently heard that we're going back to Broadway again, and they're looking forward to it. So, I mean, I don't know. We wait to hear from our producers and things like that, but I would love to think so, yeah.
There is the part in this show where you got her twirling like crazy. How do you not, fall down dizzy after that?
I've never fallen down, but
A little wheelchair. A little wheelchair. As soon as it goes black, someone comes on, puts her in the chair and wheels her out.
It's
No, I'm kidding.
I mean...
well, I do the spinning and then I put my head back, and that's funny because all you can see is just that's my spot up there. So a lot of it's up to Kevy.
Really?
To make sure I stay where I am, because that's all I can see is kind of the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just, it's like muscle memory. You get it in the body, and then it's just...
What is the absolute best and worst part, or hardest part about being on the road for this length of time that you guys are out?
Definitely, I would say that you completely have to devote 110% to this show. It's very difficult to spend time with your friends. You have one day off, which is actually a travel day, so it's not really a day off. And just getting your own personal you time can sometimes be a bit of a challenge, because you're around these people 24 hours a day. And sorry, I say you people. I mean,
yeah,
I love them. They're my family. They're your family, but I mean, it's just. I mean, and there's you go up and down. Sometimes there's dramas. Sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's like this one big happy not happy family, but
we're a family,
we're
though,
a family,
and there's
definitely,
problems.
Definitely,
Yeah, sure,
it's just
anyway.
like brothers and sisters, basically. So I would say it's just hard to be, connected with your family at home, and having your own kind of time. Relationships kind of impossible. They become impossible.
What about you?
Well, I think the hardest part for me personally is having to travel around with this one. That was obviously going to happen.
I'll take it.
Well, again, like Giselle says, being away from your family, I guess, and your friends from back home. But I find it really exciting. I mean, we're in a different place pretty much each week, which is really exciting for me. I'm getting to see all of America at the moment, and we've been on a world tour, so seeing different countries. It's really exciting. New theatres all the time, meeting new people all the time, and it's like I've already said. It's a lot of hard work. Like Giselle said, you have to devote yourself to the show, and you're up every day rehearsing all day, and then a show, and you get that one day each week where we're not doing a show, where we're pretty much travelling to a new place. So it's hard, but it's an awful lot of fun, and we are a family, and we have a lot of fun together.
And at the end of the day, we are so lucky I just have so much gratitude towards the fact that I'm able to do what I wanted to do from 5 years old. I couldn't imagine I knew at exactly 5 years old, I'm like, I want to be a dancer. And so to think oh my God, I'm doing that. So a lot of people, they don't, get that opportunity. So when you really look back and sometimes you go, oh my God, it's so many rehearsals. You just kind of got to check yourself and say, but I'm living my dream. So shut up.
I was actually doing another show where I was staying at home in London, not travelling around on tour. And I thought that would be much easier, but I missed doing this so much. Oh, wow. As soon as I was doing it. So yeah, I wouldn't swap it for the world.
And finally, like last night, take me inside your head, your heart. You're on stage at the end of the night, after you guys have just worked and sweated and thrilled the crowd. What's it like for you? What goes through your mind when you see a crowd like that up on their feet and just going crazy, appreciating what you've done? What's it feeling?
The feeling is just because I think I can speak for Kevin too. We both come from the competition world, so we spent a good chunk of our childhood competing, where it's a very negative energy. You basically put yourself in a situation where you are judged and constantly, a lot of times not judged very nicely. So at the end of all that and doing that for so long, you come in and it's like, oh, this is what I worked on, and people are applauding you for it and giving you positivity back instead of judging and instead of being negative. So even if you can just give a little inspiration and just fill some of those people with energy, they give it back to us. So you just feel alive. Alive is a good word.
Yeah, it's even not necessarily about the acclaim or of being clapped or anything like that. It's just the fact that you've just let out all this blood and sweat for the last 2 hours. You've exhausted yourself physically and emotionally for 2 hours. At the end of it, when you see people in that kind of state, they look like they're really enjoying themselves, then that's all you can really ask for. You know that you've done your job. You know that people are going home happy and entertained or affected some way by the show. If they're walking out just with a blank face, then
we didn't do
then
our
you
job.
feel you haven't done your job, or you just feel like, what's the point of what I'm doing? The idea is to
take
have
them
a lot
on a journey.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
especially with such horrible times right now, if we can for 2 hours take them away from their life and give them pure entertainment and just make them forget about their lives for a second. That's I know I like to go see a show for that reason. So